inside here for another episode of Dave C. Straight from the Pit, your favorite G.I. Joe guy. Well, maybe I'm not your favorite, but hopefully I'm one of your favorite YouTube G.I. Joe guys. But yeah, anyway, I was recently talking to my friend Joseph from the snowy mountains of Washington, and he left a comment on the last video and mentioned that the tactical battle platform and the Cobra Moray make their first appearance in G.I. Joe number 40. And since I did the review on the tactical battle platform, I figured, he's right. I should have included that in the video because normally I do that. And I made some wimpy excuse that my feet were cold for being outside because it was freezing cold, as it often is in Canada in the month of January up here. But anyway, I'm not wimping out today. So here is a look at G.I. Joe number 40 and a few of the Joes and Cobras that were first introduced. So we can flip it open, and it's called Hydrofoil, and it's an October 1985 release, and it's written and drawn by the usual suspects from 1985 G.I. Joe. And on this page here, I remember, Shipwreck first appears. So that's the very first appearance of G.I. Joe's Shipwreck. And there's a good old Shipwreck there with Polly, his parrot, of course. And of course, he's a very famous G.I. Joe character in the cartoons and the comic book. And there's the first appearance of the tactical battle platform. And it's being flown in by two Dragonfly helicopters that I talked about in the last video. And you can see there that it's in the sights of a target. Looks like Cobra Commander has it in the sights. And he's in a submarine with Zartan and Tomax and Zaymot. And the Joes are transporting this battle platform to a particular spot, and they're kind of commenting on it. You got Doc there, Tripwire, Stalker, Gung Ho, Duke, Torpedo, Snow Job, and Cutter. And here's where the Lampreys were first introduced. And they're the pilot of the Hydrofoils. And Cobra Commander is briefing them there. And he says, so these are the Hydrofoil pilots. Nice uniforms, very smart, quite modern. But pretty as pretty does. And there's Barbecue. He makes his first appearance right there. And there's Barbecue there, of course. He's a popular 1985 G.I. Joe as well. And one of his famous Sunbow animated series episodes was The Viper is Coming. And I'm sure all you Joe fans have seen that episode before. And I saw this ad the other day when I was going through this after I talked to Joe, and I remember this movie. It was called The Heavenly Kid, and it was a really good movie. And yeah, it kind of brought back some memories. That's one of the things I like about going through these old Marvel Joe comics, is that they often have old ads like this, and they spark some old memories. And another good thing about these old Joe books is that there are many, many, many subplots going on in one issue, kind of like a soap opera. And this plot here that's going on is completely different than the tactical battle platform and hydrofoil plot. And it has like Buzzer and some other characters. So it was great how Larry always wrote those, because he would kind of flip back and forth between different storylines as it would go. And this panel I like because I bought a shirt last summer, and I knew it was a Joe panel, like the art from Larry, because you can just tell that it's you can just tell that it's Rod Wigham's art. But it definitely is his art, because on this panel right here, that's where it's from. And yeah, I just really, really like this T-shirt. Sometimes I wear it to Canada's Wonderland and stuff. And a lot of people my age, or a little bit younger or older, they'll say, "Oh, awesome! I love that comic." And yeah, just when I think of Snake Eyes, that's kind of the Snake Eyes I remember and I think of. Kind of the Commando one earlier on with his Uzi, and just that look. And here's where the hydrofoil first appears. And the Joes are kind of like, what the heck is that thing? And this was one of Ron Rudat's favorite designs for a vehicle. He designed this, and he designed all the decals and like that cool snake on the bottom. And in a few minutes, I'm going to show how Joseph restored recently, in 1985, Cobra Hydrofoil with all the decals and everything from Toy Hacks, which is a place up here in Canada, in Ontario. You can see the hydrofoil there is attacking the tactical battle platform, springing into action. Yeah, anyway, don't want to spoil this one for you. But before we go on this book, there's one more thing that I'd really, really like to bring up, is that in Postbox to Pit, at the end of the book, is a letter that one of my friends, Obi, sent in back in 1985. So here it is here. I found it. And of course it is in the Postbox to Pit, the famous write-in spot for G.I.Joe fans in the 1980s and early 90s. And it reads as follows. Dear Marvel, my buddies and I have been collecting your comics since issue number 1, and frankly, we're very disappointed. And by the way, why don't you guys talk to Hasbro or something to get them to stop making these idiotic action figures and get them to make good guys look like October Guard and Quinn? I know you killed him off, but the way your story is going, you could find a way to bring him back. I took a survey of kids who collect Joes ages 5 to 15, and all of them said that they would buy the October Guard and Quinn if he came out. Chris Benjamin, Carlos Contijo, John Stark from Seekonk, Massachusetts. So that's a funny letter that his friends wrote in back then from Massachusetts. And I definitely had to mention that, because whenever I see this book up on my wall, I always think of Obi. He's a really good guy, and one of the first people that I talked to when I got back into talking to people about G.I. Joe on the internet. And so that's been quite a few years now. And yeah, on another note, I'd like to say congratulations to Chasing 80s Toys on getting 2,000 subscribers recently. And also congratulations to Stu for getting the HasLab Sky Striker. And Wes, Joe Hunter 73, recently. Because that thing is just a really, really fun thing to get. And not everybody can afford one because they're a bit pricey, but I didn't order one because I simply have a 1983 version down there. Comes with a bunch of different figures that I'm sure you guys know about. I didn't have the money to spend on the new Sky Striker, but for those of you who did get it, congratulations, because that is totally awesome, and I'm really happy for Stu that he got that. And his video on it is great. It comes with like 7 new G.I. Joe guys and Cobra guys, so just a really, really, really fun thing to get. And I love the fact that they're O-rings, because obviously I'm an 80s guy, and O-rings to me are G.I. Joe. And yeah, so I guess now I'd like to put in this video my friend Joseph's hydrofoil that he fixed up and restored and got all new decals from Toy Hacks, which is a place that's by me up here in Ontario. And yeah, so here it is here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more Dave C. straight from the pit. Timber!